Good morning. Welcome to Wake Up with the Early Nerd Live. I'm your host, Steve, the Early Nerd. And as always, I'm talking quietly because if we wake up Mrs. Early Nerd, then we're all in trouble. Today is a sad day here at the show. Jim Brown, the actor, passed away, uh, I think yesterday. Not sure exactly when, but today we're going to pay tribute to the Dirty Dozen actor and the Mars Attacks actor and a number of black exploitation films actor, plus arguably um, the greatest football player of all time. So you know, we were saddened to hear of his passing, and now we will. I'll read this article about it. It comes from Variety, and so Jim Brown, the NFL Titan, who appeared in the Dirty Dozen, many blaxploitation films, plus Oliver Stone's Any Given Sunday, The Running Man, Tim Burton's Mars Attacks, and Spike Lee's He Got Game, to name a few, died Thursday in Los Angeles. He was 87. His wife Monique posted the news of his death on Instagram, saying he passed peacefully last night at our LA home. In 9 extraordinary seasons as a fullback with the Cleveland Browns, Brown set an array of NFL records. In 2002, the Sporting News named him the greatest professional football player ever. That phenomenal athleticism and a charismatic personality made him bankable as the first African American action star. On behalf of the entire NFL family, we extend our condolences to Monique and their family, said NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. Jim Brown was a gifted athlete, one of the most dominant players to ever step on any athletic field, but also a cultural figure who helped promote change. During his 9 year NFL career, which coincided with the civil rights movement here at home, he became a forerunner and role model for athletes being involved in social initiatives outside their sport. He inspired fellow athletes to make a difference, especially in the communities in which they lived. Sidney Poitier, Sammy Davis Jr., and Bill Cosby had come before, but they were not action stars. And Fred Williamson was a blaxploitation star like Brown in the 1970s, but he did not get the chance to appear in mainstream studio action films in the 1960s like Brown did. Despite the strength of the cast and Robert Aldrich's 1967 World War II film The Dirty Dozen, a tribute to the enlisted man that starred Lee Marvin, Brown was fourth billed. An enormous commercial success, the film raised the fortunes of everyone involved, including Brown. The football star turned actor next starred alongside Rod Taylor as a pair of mercenaries in Africa seeking to heist some diamonds in Jack Cardiff's Dark of the Sun, then was first billed in the little known mystery drama Kenner, as well as in the heist film The Split, starring alongside Diane Carroll. His final film of 1968 was the fairly anemic but high profile submarine thriller Ice Station Zebra, starring Rock Hudson. Next was the Far Meteor Riot, Buzz Kulik's grim, realistic prison drama in which Brown starred with Gene Hackman. Roger Ebert was underwhelmed by the film, but declared Riot does demonstrate in Brown's case that he can now move on from simple action roles to more challenging parts. He has an easy, humorous way of delivering a line that wins spontaneous approval from the audience. The 1969 Western 100 Rifles starred Brown as an Arizona lawman who ventures into Mexico to fight Burt Reynolds' Yankee Joe, a Native American who robbed a bank to buy rifles for his people. There he tangles with a beautiful native leader played by a sex symbol of the era, Raquel Welch. Much was made in the press of the interracial love scene featuring Brown and Welch, but Brown apparently grew impatient with the actress because of the control her people exerted over the film. When I'm on a picture, he told Ebert at the time, I have two bosses, the director and the producer. My co star is not my boss. After playing Jacqueline Bisset's husband in The Grasshopper, Brown starred opposite Lee Van Cleef in the western El Condor. He was about to turn a page in his career. The actor starred in a series of blaxploitation films, starting with 1972's Slaughter, in which he played a former Green Beret captain in Vietnam, referred to by only his last name, the title of the film, who seeks to avenge the murder of his parents by the mafia. A sequel, Slaughter's Big Ripoff, followed in 1973. But also in 1972, he had made Black Gun, in which he played a successful nightclub owner whose brother is part of the militant African American organization Black Action Group. The Mafia was again the enemy. In 1973, he starred in the Roger Corman produced Papillon like exploitation film I Escaped from Devil's Island and in the prison picture The Slams. 1974, Three the Hard Way director Gordon Parks Jr. teamed the three biggest blaxploitation stars, Brown, Fred Williamson, and Jim Kelly, in the story of a team that battles white supremacists plotting to somehow kill the black population of the U.S. by poisoning the water. Brown, Williamson, and Kelly were reteamed the next year in a largely bland spaghetti western called Take a Hard Ride, in which the villains, led by Lee Van Cleef, were mostly white. The film was released not by one of the exploitation distributors, but by 20th Century Fox. Brown did another western with Van Cleef, Vengeance, in 1977, and then made an unexpected move for an action star. He appeared in James Toback's directorial debut, Fingers, starring Harvey Keitel as a pianist and collector for his loan shark father. Let's see. After the action film Pacific Inferno, 1979, Brown appeared in the Fred Williamson written and directed One Down, Two to Go in 1982. On screen, the film reunited Williamson, Brown, and Kelly and also starred Richard Roundtree, the star of Shaft. During the mid-'80s, Brown made appearances on TV shows including Chips, Knight Rider, T.J. Hooker, and The A-Team. He played one of the villains in futuristic Arnold Schwarzenegger vehicle, The Running Man. Um, I think he played the guy with the flamethrower. I can't remember right offhand, but I think that was him. He was the one that was like, "No, last year's losers." That was him. Let's see. And he was among the stars of Keenan Ivory Wayans' 1988 parody of blaxploitation films, I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. Brown then spent years doing straight-to-video films before another effort to revive the genre, 1996's original Gangstas, starring Williamson, Brown, and the top female blaxploitation star of the 70s, Pam Grier. That same year, he appeared in Tim Burton's Mars Attacks as a former heavyweight champion who works in a casino. In Spike Lee's 1998 film He Got Game, starring Denzel Washington and the NBA's Ray Allen, Brown played a parole officer. The actor also had a role in Lee's 2004 film She Hate Me. In Stones, I can't pronounce that word. Paean. Anybody wants to give that a try? Go for it. To professional football, any given Sunday, Brown played Montezuma Monroe, the defensive coordinator of the fictitious Miami Sharks, who lament what football has become and wishes he could be back coaching high school ball. Brown took a turn in the director's chair with the 1999 TV movie Keep the Music Alive. He also did a story arc on Showtime's Soul Food as ruthless FBI agent Willie White in 2004. The actor appeared in the 2010 film Dream Street, written and directed by the actress Lonette McKee, and in 2014 he appeared as himself in the Ivan Reitman sports drama Draft Day, starring Kevin Costner. James Nathaniel Brown was born in St. Simons Island, Georgia. His father was a professional boxer. He graduated from Syracuse University with a BA in 1957. While at Syracuse, he played football, lacrosse, basketball, and ran track. Brown was selected to the Pro Bowl every year from 1957 to 1965. In 1957, he was NFL Rookie of the Year as voted by several organizations, as well as NFL MVP. He was also named MVP in 1958, 1963, and 1965. Brown was NFL rushing champion 8 out of 9 times, and he was named to the NFL 1960s All-Decade Team, the NFL 50th Anniversary All-Time Team, and the NFL 75th Anniversary All-Time Team. Brown was inducted into the Hall of Fame for pro football in 1971, lacrosse in 1983, and college football in 1995. Let's see. The football star's career coincided with the civil rights era, on which he weighed in his 1964 autobiography, written with Myron Cope, Off My Chest, in which he declared, "The first thing the white man must understand, the depth of our protest. Does he realize that the black Muslim's basic attitude towards whites is shared by almost 99% of the Negro population? I protest prejudice, but I am a prejudiced man. The white man has forced me to be prejudiced against him." During the 1960s, he established the Negro Industrial and Economic Union, later renamed the Black Economic Union, to support black entrepreneurship. He made his film debut in the 1964 Western Rio Conchos, whose release was timed to coincide with the beginning of the NFL season. Let's see. The filmmakers apparently had confidence in Brown's on-screen presence, even as a film rookie. He did not just have a walk-on role and was, in fact, on camera for most of the movie. He played a sergeant in the U.S. Cavalry. He and his commanding officer, played by Stuart Whitman, seek to prevent a load of hijacked Army rifles from being smuggled to the Apaches. Brown made a couple of guest appearances on TV over the next couple of years until his film career blasted off with The Dirty Dozen. Spike Lee's 2002 film Jim Brown All-American offered a retrospective on Brown's career and personal life. Brown's memoir Out of Bounds, written with Steve Delson, was received in 1989. In 1988, Brown founded the R.I.P program, through which he worked with kids caught up in gang violence in Los Angeles and Cleveland. R.I.P is a life management skills organization that operates in inner cities as well as prisons. So, as you can see, or rather hear for that matter, Jim Brown was a very well-rounded individual. He did a lot of things, for one, being arguably, the greatest football player ever. doing so many different styles of movies, ranging from some from World War II films to black exploitation films to horror comedies with Mars Attacks. So rest in peace, Mr. Brown. You most definitely will be missed. I I remember you in the Dirty Dozen. I remember you in Running Man, and you definitely were a great actor. And we at the Early Nerd salute you, sir. But I think that's about all I have for today on this Saturday. So remember out there, whether you're going to work or wherever else it is you're going, be careful out there. Be safe. And we'll remember, if you like this video or if you like what I do here, please like and subscribe. Share the video. Tell your friends. Tell your coworkers. And but like I said, I think that's it for today. We've ran a little bit long today, but that's okay. So we'll see y'all tomorrow. Remember to tune in for Saturday Game Episode 2, which comes out tomorrow morning. We will play the game tonight, and I will recap everything that happened, and we'll continue on with the story where we last left off in a kitchen full of orcs with something coming down the hall. But we'll see what happens. So, anyways, we'll talk to y'all soon. We'll see y'all tomorrow. And remember, Early Nerd loves you guys. Bye bye now.